Hello, hello, hello. Enter. Come in. Hello. Everybody find a partner. Grab a doob. Disrobe. Whatever it is that you're into. Fucking caps locks. Garrett's disrobing. Okay, so now it's a party. Now it's a party. Copy. Paste. Oh, nice. Why are they giving me a, what is this? Oh, fucking slate misspelling. Hello. Hello. Here, we'll give you one of these. Welcome in. Well, okay. I don't know what to tell you then. Hang on a second. Let me move this because I got to be able to see this. I am. Oh, that's. Ugh. Okay. Let me minimize this. Fuck is this? Oh, there we go. I saw your video talking about poor democratic messaging, and I've always think of the defund the police movement. Yes. Yes, that is, defund the police is exactly what I'm talking about. Defund the police and ACAB are the two dumbest things we can be going around saying. Because we understand what it means, but they don't. They view it through the lens of the exact wording. You're addicted to black women? Awesome. So I dead ass have a question for you, bro. What if I want to be deported, but I'm white? What would I need to do for that? No fucking clue. That's not my area of expertise. Yo, Tom, do you know Candace? Candace was Candace Owens? I mean, I don't know her personally. I know of her work. Right, Garrett? Good afternoon, 52. Good afternoon. You got me for a little bit before I got to go get my daughter from the train station. Are these all charged? That one needs to be charged. That one's charged. Great content. Love the channel. Cowboy approved. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. There's going to be a slight dip in content next week. I'm working on a backlog of content that I can put out there next week, but next week I will be on vacation, so the content that you do get will be less than what you're normally getting, and much of it will be of a completely different style of content. It will be vacation travel content. Always enjoy your short videos. Ironically enough, people say that all the time, but it's the long videos that pay me. I don't make I make money off the short videos, but not nearly as much as the long videos. What's your take on the Fast and Furious scandal? Are you talking about the weapons to Mexico? Where are you going? We are going to Alaska. Well, we're flying to Vancouver, and then we're going up the coast of Alaska. Enjoy your vacation. I shall. Oh, it's only a matter of time, cowboy. We do like to travel, but here's the deal. I get paid to create content, so I'm not going to just not make content while we're on vacation. I'm just going to make more travel content than anything while we're there. But yeah, no, these are working vacations, so to speak. I don't know much about the Fast and Furious scandal, if I'm being completely honest with you. I never really did any content about it when I was on Facebook and it was going on. I never spoke about it because I didn't familiarize myself with that. Why are there armed National Guard in our capital? Two reasons. One, Donald Trump is attempting to federalize every city that he doesn't like. My guess is in an attempt to ultimately issue martial law and already have the assets in place to be able to enact on that martial law. And two, to get you to stop talking about the fact that he most likely had intercourse with children. Hey, bro, I hope you have a great buzz. Just know that there isn't any division that we can't mend, but in this land, it is not free. It costs a lot more. In a lot of places, you pay for. There are, I'm sorry, divisions that can't mend. There are divisions that can't mend. For example, right now, Republicans in over 20 states are fighting against overturning child marriage. Right, they're fighting against making it illegal to marry 12-year-olds. I don't think that that's a division that's mendable. Right now, the Republican Party, at least the far right wing faction of the Republican Party, is backing a pedophile. They're making excuses for a man that most likely trafficked in little girls. That's not a division that can be mended. I'm going to binge your content if you aren't pushing anything behind this politics cult bullcrap. I can get behind it. Amen. Have we seen the last of Jack Smith? Oh, probably. Even if, okay, so let's say Republicans lose power in the midterm and then lose the White House in 28. Even with a wave of Democratic elected officials coming into power, if they were to do another special counsel, it wouldn't be Jack Smith specifically. You haven't seen the end of his work. It's just going to be in the hands of somebody else at some point in time down the line. If this motherfucker is still alive, and I'm not talking about from somebody doing something to him. I mean, he's old. He's clearly dealing with some bad health. It's not a dig on him, right? I'm in poor shape. I'm not the president, but I'm also not in in great shape either. But what I'm seeing with him is exactly what I saw with my father in the last 4 years of his life. He has congestive heart failure. Now, he can live a very long life on congestive heart failure, but he has congestive heart failure at his advanced age, at his poor health. I think he's going to be lucky if he makes it to the end of this term, naturally speaking. Okay, you joking about being on Epstein's list isn't funny. It takes a sick mind to even think that that would be humorous. So, fuck you and everything you stand for, you ignorant piece of shit. Why do I feel like things that Donald Trump has done is going to cause damage and problem for other people in president? So what you're saying is you have a feeling that some of the things that he has done is going to cause a problem for future presidents. Yeah, it might. What we need is we need to come together and pass some legislation that fixes some of the glaring loopholes that exist in our system. I'm afraid you don't make it to the end of the day, let alone the end of the term. So let's just hope maybe the next few months we'll see a lovely obituary. You talking about me? You don't think I'm going to make it to the end of the day? Tamzing? What do you think of the band Ghost? Never heard of him. He won't last all 4 years. Okay. It just, our allies won't fuck with us anymore. Listen, he is causing damage with our relationships with other countries. There's no doubt about it. But I think our allies are also intelligent enough to understand that this, like anything within American politics, this is temporary. The problem that they're going to have long term is not that Trump was president for a brief period of time. It's the people that elected him. They're not going to be able to trust the word of the American people for a hot minute. El Paso, Texas. It's not Trump that I am afraid of. It's the people who support him. Exactly. Declaration of Independence from corporate control. I'm hoping, all honest, obituary of Donald Trump. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I miss the days when all hatred of the government is all. I used to. Ooh, the picture was crooked. Very crooked. I used to think to myself, I miss the days when I was growing up. I was born in 72. I turned 10 in 82. So, I grew up in the 70s. I came of age in the 80s. And I never knew my family's politics. Never. We became more aware of politics as, like, Reagan became more on TV and shit like that. But we never knew our parents' politics. I used to think I longed for those days. I don't know that I long for those days anymore. I don't like the fact that everything is hyper political now, but I do like the fact that at least I know where motherfuckers stand now. People say, well, back in the day, you could be sitting right next to one of these guys and not even know it because you never knew his politics and he never knew your politics. And so you guys just drank and laughed and carried on and had a good time. But I don't think I want to drink and laugh and carry on with a guy who trafficked in children, who talked about fucking his own daughter, who bragged about walking into a teenage dressing room so that he could look at teenage girls naked. I don't think I want to know. I don't think I want to sit down and drink and party with somebody who behind the scenes supports a guy like that. So I don't long for the days where we didn't know what everybody's politics were. I longed for the days when if you were a racist, you had to hide who the fuck you were because you were ashamed, because the society wasn't going to tolerate that bullshit. I longed for a day when if you were a fascist, you had to hide what the fuck that was because and you're probably saying to yourself, well, isn't that what you were just saying you didn't long for? A day when people didn't know the politics? No, a day when these motherfuckers were ashamed, when they knew shame, So, that's why you were no contact with siblings. Yeah, none of this shit should be a partisan issue. What I don't understand is that for the sake of a party win, for the sake of scoring a political W, you're willing to vote against your own best interest. I don't understand that. Take, for example, somebody just mentioned, it shouldn't be a partisan issue to feed kids. No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a partisan issue to feed kids and to pour more money into education and to strengthen our education. Why? There are fucking kids, and they're this country's next generation of workers. We don't want an educated workforce? We don't want a well-trained workforce? Seems kind of fucking stupid to me. I think that as a society, we should want the most educated workforce on the face of the earth. But Republicans, we can't, no, we got to fucking cut education, and then teach them all the shit that's insanely wrong, right? Slavery was good. No, you want to put more money into education because it benefits the entirety of society when you have an educated workforce. And if you could feed those kids while they're getting an education, then they are going to become better educated because it's hard to learn on an empty stomach when your brain is focusing on the fact that you haven't eaten. So feeding kids and educating kids should seem like a no-brainer. If you say that you're for freedom, then telling people, as long as you're two consenting adults, or 5 consenting adults or 12 consenting adults, and everybody's acting on their own behest, and nobody's harming anybody. Who the fuck cares who's marrying who? I thought this was all about freedom, not telling people who they can and can't marry. Universal healthcare is one of the big ones that blows my mind when it comes to them not seeing how it fucking benefits them, right? When you do the math with them, when you sit down with them and you go, listen, add up the following things. Say, give me all of the money that you're going to spend out of your paycheck, have deducted out of your paycheck for Medicare over the course of the whole year, for Medicare, for Medicaid, for Social Security. Add those numbers up, then add all of the monthly premiums that you pay out of pocket for the fact that you have to have health insurance, right? How much it costs you every month just to have health insurance. Then add in all of the money it costs you to go see doctors and buy medications and go to the emergency room and take an ambulance ride. Add all of that up for the cost of the year on one side of the paper. And then on the right side of the paper, just put 10% of your gross pay before any deductions come out. And tell me which one is smaller. It's always the fucking 10%. So why the fuck do you guys keep voting for and fighting for us to keep the system over here? That's fucked up. You done?
Oh, just keep doing you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be off of here in a minute as well because we got to go get Lily.
Yeah.
What?
So I found this one, but now I'm missing the other one that I had. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so this one, is that one charged?
This
one needs to be charged.
No, that one's fully charged.
Okay, one's... Okay, hang on. So these 2 fully charged battery packs. Here are our binoculars. There are the vapes. There are my headphones. You got the chargers in there.
Okay.
Plus, I put the thing on top of the fucking microwave.
Okay. But
I'm grabbing
I
glasses
don't have
that
a
don't
charger.
exist.
I still don't. There's no charger in that bag.
Then it's got to be attached to the back of your phone or your lamp because that's where we charge them.
It's not, though. I'm just telling you.
What kind of charger is it?
I don't know. It's just not this charger. It's the charger I need for my Kindle.
Lily has that.
I think so. And I guarantee you it's not here. So you know what we're going to do, Tom? We're going to go pick it up from a store.
So we got to buy another thing because she took our thing?
Okay, well, no.
Sorry, guys. We're prepping for vacation here. We're going to Alaska in a few days.
Never mind.
You found it?
Good job.
Where was it?
I had it, damn it.
Where was it?
Tom, look at this.
Donde?
It was right here with these, okay? This is obnoxious. And none of them are fucking labeled.
Where's the label maker?
It's over here.
It's over there too? So you have the cord and the label maker, but you couldn't find it because it wasn't labeled? I'm just breaking it down. Is that where it was?
Go show all your friends on the interwebs and tell them.
So you had the cord and the label maker, but you couldn't find the cord because it wasn't labeled.
Enjoy Tom Howell Jr.'s last day on this earth.
It's been a hell of a run.
Yeah.
She's going to take over the channel if you guys could just continue to absorb her content.
Actually, I need your guys going to have to do way better than... Because I'm going to need a little bit more support than
okay, Clyde.
you guys are offering to Tom. Just telling you. I like nicer things than he does. Okay.
You should see the shoes she bought today. What do we get? We get a pair of Hokas and a pair of what else?
These are Hoka Ghost. Oh, no. Clifton 19. Oh, that hurt my calf. And then I got Brooks Max Ghost 3, something or other.
And the good news is only 37 more payments and they're ours.
Tell everybody why I got 2 pairs of shoes.
I told her to get 2 pairs of shoes. She needs 2 pairs of shoes, so I told her to. And then they rang it up, and it came up to what? What did it come up to? 3 what?
Well, and I got an insert too.
And inserts. 3 what?
One set of inserts. It was 4 something, and then he goes, "Oh, but you have $28."
Yeah, so it was like just under $400.
$396.
Uh-huh. And that was after we bought a new office chair.
Okay, again.
for the sewing room because I told her to. She's been bitching about her goddamn back in that chair. So we went and bought an office chair for the sewing room at her mom's house that she sits in, and then 2 pair of shoes. And then we went to the dispensary where I did all of the spending,
Yeah,
but it only topped out at $100.
And jeans.
And I bought 2 pair of jeans for the
Okay.
vacation. For the vacation.
Wait, the shoes are for the
What?
vacation. Can you charge that on your?
No, I can't because I only got one on the back. If I have a light that is not
Mine
as
only
equipped
has
as.
one also.
Okay, so then plug it into a block somewhere.
Oh, Tom, there's no blocks available.
What is that? That's not one.
No, because
Okay.
that's a.
That's
USB.
a thin jobby.
It's a C to a C to a C. Oh, maybe this will work though. That's.
There are fucking cords everywhere. Everywhere. And every time I get a new TikTok shop item, it's got another fucking cord. Do live interviews with strangers using your puppet and post that. Hilarious. I actually did several podcast episodes. My podcast, Off Topic with Don Powell, where I interviewed people. It never took off. I had it on Patreon. I interviewed Walter Masterson. I interviewed V from Under the Desk News. I interviewed my wife in one interview. I interviewed a NASA flight director, a guy who was a Chicago historian. I interviewed a radio DJ who's been in the game since the 70s. D and Joe from Unlearned 16. So
Back 40 guy.
Will Westmoreland. Yeah. So. What are we looking at? Who's arguing with him? Plus the fact that only 2 parties make it worse than the other countries. Where did I get the Grateful Dead guitar? My wife gave it to me for Christmas after it showed up in a local music shop. Your vocabulary is showing your education. And I make no bones about what my education is. I also don't hide myself like you do. How about MAGA cheering for the $400 million plane that he will never ride in? Well, it's a cult of personality. They don't like spending when it's somebody that is not somebody they support. When it's somebody they support, they don't mind the spending. Clearly, we've spent something along the lines of 78 years worth of presidential salary so this fucking bucket of shit could play golf so far. They don't mind that spending. Oh my Yeezy, this dude clapped my cheeks last Tuesday. That's really what you have to offer? Have you ever heard of Paul Lance? Nope. Why can't you live near me so we can become friends? Love your content. Thank you. Thank you, Bax. What am I crying about today? The stench of tu madre's vagina. I pay $41 a month for my health care. Choices in life. Yeah, sure you do. Did he make a count? Okay. Wasted government funds if you pay for education. You want to form a complete sentence and figure what are you talking about, man? Make America Gavin again, this guy says. I have a question. If we didn't give $30 billion a year to Israel, I don't know that it's 30, would we be able to afford health care for our veterans and elderly? Potentially. Potentially. Where you could afford that is if we just adopt the system that exists in the UK and cover the balance by cutting defense spending. And you've got it. Mr. Tom, you friends with any young people? You seem really chill to build Legos with, I think. No, I'm not friends with any young people unless you're talking about my nephews or my granddaughters. His wages probably get donated to your welfare. Oh, I haven't been on welfare since I was a child, sweet pea. I pay over 146 a month, even with employer coverage, and it covers almost nothing. And I paid out 10,000 a year. The American military budget is insane. Why not give some of that budget? Exactly. So, when you look into the studies about how much we can actually cut from the Department of Defense's budget, almost universally, economic experts say that you could take a 40 to 50% hatchet right to the top of it before you get into each individual department and scalpel away the waste. So, right there, you have an extra $400 billion with which to work. If you go to a UK style of universal health system, they're going to tax your wages before anything comes out of your check. They're going to tax your wages at 10%. But you're not going to have your Social Security deduction. You're not going to have your Medicare deduction. You're not going to have your Medicaid deduction because that's covering your health care and a national pension. So that's their version of Social Security. You're also not going to pay health insurance premiums. You're also not going to pay out-of-pocket co-payments, with the exception of your medications. And they pay the equivalent to about like 10, 15 bucks a medication. See what's on, what is this? See, that's also how you can tell that it might be a bot. They can't spell. Are you on any government welfare? Listen, okay, we're done with this asshole because, I mean, if you don't have anything intelligent to add to the conversation, then you're just taking up space. I hope your trip to Alaska is awesome. So do I. So do I. Well, thank you, them. Oh, the manifest. My bad. Love your videos, by the way. Keep rocking and rolling. Thank you very much. Can Pritzker or Illinois refuse Trump's National Guard's orders? Yes. The governor can keep his National Guard under his control, which is the reason why Donald Trump is talking about sending federal agents or active duty full-time military that isn't Guard. And if he's going to send active duty full-time military, then he needs to suspend habeas corpus. And if he suspends habeas corpus, then we don't have laws. If we don't have laws, literally anything goes. And if he does that, if he sends troops into a lawless city of Chicago to try and quell crime, they're going to drag troops out of the city of Chicago feet first. It's not going to be pretty if he does that. If he just sends in some troops into like the downtown area to put on a show of force where there's nothing going on crime wise, where it's like the fucking tourist spots, it's going to make him look like a fucking jackass, but it's probably not going to be an issue. He sends U.S. troops, send U.S. troops into the back of the yards. Send a division into the back of the yards. See what happens. Tom, I thought you said Chicago wasn't dangerous. All of Chicago is not dangerous. Most of it's quite nice. Even I don't go to the back of the yard. You want me to explain why the Supreme Court keeps siding with Donald Trump? 3 of them are his. There are 9 justices on the Supreme Court. 6 of them are conservative. 3 of them are his picks. And those 3 aren't even the most conservative there are. Alito and Thomas, people that were there before him, are the most conservative. You have a MAGA Supreme Court. That's why they side with him. He built it, and he's going to get 2 more because Justice Alito and Justice Thomas are going to retire and allow him to replace them because they're already very old. They've already had some conversations, but maybe not too many more years. They don't want a Democrat replacing him, so they're going to retire and they're going to let him replace him. And I want you to think about this. For the next 30 fucking years, we are going to have a Supreme Court in this country where 5 of the 9 justices are Trump picks. Unless they fail to retire before the midterms next year. And Democrats regain the Senate, and they pull a Mitch McConnell and say, "Yep, we're not even giving your picks a hearing." Thank you, Never Too Old. Elaborate when you ask me about a general strike. What general strike? What's that look like to you? The whole fucking country no longer works? It's never going to happen. The neighborhood where Michelle Obama grew, I wouldn't go to during the daytime. Oh, I don't know about that. I am sick of the Democrats. Are they even trying? Yeah, they are. I mean, I want you to think about something. Everybody on the left, they bitch about the Democrats suck at messaging, but I want you to really think about this. The Democrats put up two of the most qualified candidates in the history of this fucking country's presidential elections, Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. And the far left, and this is what we're going to wrap up on here because we're going to go get my cat. The far left went, no, she didn't come to my state, or they didn't give us Bernie Sanders, or she doesn't, she still supports Israel in some way, shape, or form. We're not going to do it. And both fucking times, we got Donald Trump. Kamala, okay, so Rugunumi says Kamala, ha ha ha, and then follows it up with Morons Unite. And that's after spelling Kamala, Camala. If you're going to try to insult somebody else's intelligence, at least learn how to spell, you fucking imbecile. And on that note, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time, right back here.